Hey, what's going on everybody? Today I am going to be showing you how you would go about training Slayer on a level 3 account. Level 3 skiller accounts have been around for a very long time, and training Slayer on these accounts have always been a unique way to progress your accounts. In fact, training Slayer on a level 3 is so unique that to this day, only 2 level 3s in old school RuneScape have achieved 99 Slayer on their accounts. With that being in mind, let's go ahead and talk about how you would go about training Slayer on a level 3 account. Let's say your account is fresh off of Tutorial Island. The very first thing that you are going to want to do is completing the Varrock Museum mini quest. If you don't know, this gives you a reward of 1000 Slayer experience as well as Hunter experience, bringing you from levels 1 to 9 Slayer immediately. After completing this mini quest at the Varrock Museum, Slayer from here on all the way until 99 is completely trained through experience lamps. Now, how you actually obtain some of these experience lamps vary a lot at the early levels of your Slayer grind, and your later levels are going to be trained through a single method that I will cover on later in this video. But for now, let's talk about how to get through these early levels of Slayer. As I mentioned, you need experience lamps. These can be obtained from a variety of things such as achievement diaries, quests, and even completing the display cases down in the basement of the Varrock Museum. So the first thing I want to talk about is the achievement diaries. As a level 3 skiller, you have access to 8 total diaries that you can actually complete. Now keep in mind, some of these are not very easy to complete, but you are still able to complete 8 of them. All 8 of these on screen are possible on a level 3 account. Each one of these you cannot utilize on a skill until they are level 30, besides the Karimja Diaries, which you can utilize on any skill level. It only rewards you with 1k experience, unlike the other ones all reward you with 2.5k experience, but again, you have to be at least level 30 to utilize them. Next up, I want to talk about quests that are available on a level 3 account that you can complete for Slayer experience, or again, antique lamps that you can utilize on the Slayer level. All of these on screen right now are accessible to you. However, some of these, such as A Tale of Two Cats and One Small Favor, can be seen as very difficult to complete on a level 3, but they are still very possible. If you wanted to put the effort into completing some of those, it would help you out in the long run, but you could probably just do a different method that would be a lot less work. It really just depends how you would like to approach gaining Slayer experience. And finally, the last thing that rewards you with experience lamps that's worth doing is the display cases down in the basement of the Varrock Museum. Now, in order to get the experience lamps from these display cases, you have to complete them by placing the respected fossils in the actual display cases. You obtain these fossils by doing various methods on Fossil Island, and really the only ones accessible to a level 3 are Herbivore, which require 80 Hunter, and Solicept trees, which require 65 Woodcutting. The Solicept are seen as very difficult on a level 3 because you're going to end up dying while doing this method, so especially for Hardcore Iron Man, this is pretty much not possible. But I do have a guide on how to do these Solicept trees on a level 3. If you guys want to check that out, I'll have a card in the top right of the video right now for you guys to check out. While training either one of those methods that I just mentioned, you will randomly receive small, medium, or large fossils while doing these activities. And each one of these can be used on the table in the Varrock Museum to turn them into specific fossils that you can utilize on the display cases. Once you use these on the display case, you will get rewarded an experience lamp depending on what size fossil you are using. The small fossils give you an antique lamp worth 2,000 experience, and it must be used in a skill level 20 or higher. The medium rewards you with 3.5k experience that is only usable on a skill 30 or higher, and the large is rewarded with 5k experience that must be used in a skill at least 35 or higher. Now, once you've completed all of the display cases down here, you will be rewarded with a total of 120,000 experience by the end of it. That is not something that you get at the end. That's just something that you accumulate over time while doing all these display cases. This is by far the most experience that you can obtain aside from the main training method that I'll cover later on in this video, as I've mentioned previously. Now I want you to keep in mind that completing these display cases is not an easy task, and it takes a lot of time to actually obtain all of the fossils needed to complete the display cases, so please keep that in mind. It's not something that's just going to happen overnight. After you've reached level 20 Slayer and you want to get an easy 5 small fossils to start off your grind, the best way is by rebuilding the dig site camp here right as you enter Fossil Island. Once you rebuild this camp, you can go speak to Peter here and he will give you 5 small fossils in which you can go use on the display cases to get that antique lamp that I mentioned previously for a nice 2K Slayer experience. Now there are 2 more quests that you can actually achieve Slayer experience from. It's not necessarily from completing the quests themselves, but once you do complete these quests, you can speak to Historia Minas on the 2nd floor of the Varrock Museum. And once you tell him stories about these quests, he will actually reward you with 1K experience lamps for each one of these quests, Shield of Arav and Merlin's Crystal. Merlin's Crystal might be a little difficult, but it's completely doable on a level 3. Both of these lamps, however, you have to have at least 20 in that respected skill. So you can actually do these quests whenever you want, but just make sure you don't speak to Historian Minas until you have at least 20 Slayer. That way when he gives you the lamps, you can actually utilize them on Slayer. I know everything I just covered can be overwhelming, so I'm going to sum it up for you guys. Pretty much everything that you need to obtain before level 20 is available right here in this list for you. These are the only things you can do until level 20. Once you get to level 20, that is pretty much the crucial level that opens up pretty much every door for you, because then you are able to utilize small fossils, which will get you past level 30, and that'll get you access to mediums, and mediums will get you access to large, and so on and so forth. So once you get to that level 20 threshold is when you can start doing most of the things that I've already mentioned previous in this video. Now we can finally talk about the only training method that's viable all the way until 99 Slayer. You can start this method at any level, but it's so slow that it's very recommended to do all of the other methods first that I mentioned previously in this video as soon as possible. The method is cleaning finds in the Varrock Museum. Now this is only available to people who have completed the dig site quest. Once you've completed this quest, you have access to this little room right here in the museum. Now once you are doing this activity in here, you have a chance of receiving an antique lamp that is a 1 in 97.5 chance of receiving one. And this lamp rewards you with 500 experience on any skill that you would like. So obviously you're going to be putting this onto Slayer. Now you might be wondering, well, how fast and how many lamps do you actually get per hour? And the short story is, on a very tick perfect, efficient hour of doing this activity, you can get up to 2,000 experience per hour. So that alone should tell you how long this method should take you. And as I mentioned, that's only being super efficient. On average, you're probably only going to be getting around 1,400 to 1,600 experience per hour doing this activity. When you put those experience rates to perspective, 99 Slayer will probably take you around 6,500 efficient hours. So it's probably going to be even more than that if you're not very efficient that entire time. It's not likely you're going to be efficient for all of those hours. 6,500 hours. This is why Slayer on a level 3 account is so unique to see, because the amount of effort it requires to actually achieve 99 is very difficult. As you may have remembered at the beginning of this video, I said that there was only 2 people in old school RuneScape that have actually achieved 99 Slayer on a level 3 because of this ridiculously long grind. Now there's really not much to do in this activity other than collecting rocks from this dirt pile here, then using those rocks on this table, and then whatever you receive from this table you just utilize on the crates here in the corner of the room, and this is how you get the chance of receiving an experienced lamp. One of the level 3 accounts that I mentioned that has 99 Slayer, named DiddyBoy1, actually has a clan chat that you can go and visit and possibly even join, called Lamp Hunters. If you have any questions on how to do this activity, or any questions at all by doing this method, feel free to go ahead and join that clan chat and ask away. They are super nice people and they would not mind helping you out whatsoever. If you guys found this video to be helpful or interesting, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you already are subscribed, then go ahead and hit that join button to see what kind of perks you get access to by joining this YouTube channel. Here is a quick shout out of everybody that is a top tier member at the moment. Again, without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so thank you guys so much. Hey, welcome to the end of my video. I appreciate you watching this far. I'll tell you what, if you guys enjoyed this content, I know for sure you're going to enjoy this level 3 UIM series I got going on. If you are not already watching it, I highly recommend going check it out. Just click that button right over there. Did you click it yet? What are you waiting for? Just click the button.